Yo, what's up? What's up? Listen. Before I even like tell y'all how impactful this particular person is, you know what I'm saying? I gotta share a story with y'all, right? Now I forgot what year it was, but it was at E3. And I first
2010.
2010? Oh man, 2010. And I had the HipHopGamer belt and stuff like that as always. And she spit the belt and cut her finger. So we started out as family because her blood got on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally what happened. She spit the belt, cut her finger, and we've been best friends ever since. So I introduced to y'all, I revealed to y'all Chicago's own CEO Sugar Gamers, the one, the only Keisha Howard. What's going on, superstar? How you feel?
I am overwhelmed with the hype. I'm an introvert, and you're like five people. You're like in one, all that energy. I want to ask you, has anyone ever cut themselves on one of your belts since?
Nope.
It's
It's
never
literally
happened.
only been you. Yeah, only been you, yo. Like, that is crazy. That's how you know it was destined, man. For real. So
Well,
that's funny. That's
and
funny.
10 years later,
And 10
we're
years
going to
later,
have
we
a
here.
conversation about what we about to talk about today.
Oh, we about to talk about how impactful you've been to the point where you got an award, Blacks in Gaming. Like, that's crazy right there. Crazy. So we gonna jump right into it, man. Like, first of all, how did you feel about receiving the award, period? But even deeper than that, how did you feel about like the fact that you was even thought of and considered to even get it in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like, walk me through that process when you got the news.
Oh man, that's such a dense question. But it's been 11 years that I have been running Sugar Gamers, and it's something I'm very proud of. It's something that I find so fulfilling. So whenever, there's any acknowledgement, I can't help but take a moment and think about all the people that helped me get here. So, you know how like you talk to individuals and they're like, I did this all by myself. It was
Yeah,
me, myself, and I. And
yeah.
it's like, I can never say that. Like, it took generations of women in my family to get to me, right? Everybody has made sacrifices in order for me to have the opportunities that I have. And then on top of that, my team is so dope. I've had the same people on my team for, I think the shortest time period's been like 5 years. So
Mm.
everyone's been on the team for like 5 to 10 years. And so for me to get these sorts of acknowledgments means a lot because we take unorthodox approaches in this space. Like you don't see me streaming a lot. You don't see me, sort of galvanizing attention on camera a lot. But Sugar Gamers is a vehicle for individuals to get an opportunity to be in this space, to have a warm sort of embrace, right? Because when we first start, we don't know what we're doing, right? And like to always have to prove yourself and always have to, pretend like you know everything is really
Mm.
difficult. So in Sugar Gamers, all of us don't game well. None of us are good at gaming. None of us are like trying to like be pro gamers or nothing. We all trash at games. But we love the games, we love the camaraderie, and we like the intellectual merits, and the community work that we do is something I'm extremely proud of because we take the information that we know and then we go on the south side, we go on the west side, and we talk to kids, we talk about other information besides being entertainment so that individuals can see all the opportunities in the video game space. Like we having a whole lot of conversations about esports right now, but video games is a $150 billion industry.
Absolutely.
Esports might be 2 billion, might be. So that means that there is a conversation to be had about what those other opportunities are and how we fit into it. So, winning this award just reminds me that I have a lot of work to do. It reminds me to be grateful. It reminds me to be like to look at my team and be like, y'all the dope ones.
Yeah.
And it's just awesome.
That's amazing. Like, so now one thing I want to talk about, because Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a tough area, period. I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, I get it. I get the hood and all of that, right? So you touched on something that's very interesting because a lot of times a lot of people think that playing games is the only way to make it in the game industry, and there's so many other things to do. So with what you've been doing, even behind the scenes and opportunities there, what do you feel you need, or what do you feel is missing? Whether it's a financial investment or like certain partnerships, what do you feel is missing to help you make even more impact that you've been trying to make even when you started out 10, 11 years ago?
Well, for the longest time, the structure of how one becomes successful in video games has been a little rigid. So I think it's just time to expand that conversation to really pinpoint, all the different facets of what the video game industry is. I mean, the military uses the video games to, simulate different training. The medical industry uses, video game hardware and software to simulate surgery for surgeons. The entertainment is 2020. The entertainment industry is using the same tools that make video games. So entertainers can now be CGI characters engaging with their audience and still adhering to social distancing. So video games has always been much more than just, competition and entertainment. Video games are STEM, the some of the skills that it takes to make a video game. So one of the things that I try to explain to young kids, especially, when I get the opportunity to talk to them, they're like, I want to be like a ninja. I want to be a pro gamer. And I'm just like, that's cute. And you should still pursue that. But maybe you want to be like Epic. Maybe you want to be like
Yeah,
Riot. Maybe you want to be like Blizzard. It's like, I want to be like Michael Jordan. Well, maybe you want to own the Bulls,
yeah,
And in video games, that kind of, if we can talk about democratizing the technology and the pathways to those opportunities, then you start to see like, wow, there aren't as many barriers to entry because it's all about your creativity and the way that you understand your own uniqueness. Because all you have to do is think of a wonderful new idea, and even though it's easier said than done, like we play what we play. We
yeah,
are unbiased. If the game fun, the game fun, right?
yeah. That's
So
it.
like no one had heard of the company that made Among Us, and now we seeing all the memes. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a
Yep,
movie soon.
yep. Soldier Boy was
It's
playing it the other day. Word
right?
up, that's
So,
fun.
and it's just, the fanfare, the fun, and all it takes is just understanding game mechanics, understanding how to bring people together, understanding how to galvanize community, understanding how to make things fun. So, there's, and in that, the expanding of the conversation and people understanding the value in that expansion will then lend itself to, I believe, a company like Sugar Gamers being much more fiscally,
Yeah,
uh,
impactful. Yeah. No, nah, I know
yeah.
what you. Nah, I know what you're talking about. So one thing I love, like your insight is crazy on how you see things because of what you've been through. But now I gotta ask you this, right? Um,
Hmm.
why do you think that a lot of times when it comes to especially black women, you know what I'm saying? But why do you think a lot of times there's always this extra, either this extra barrier or this extra stigma um that's placed on y'all to where it's like y'all could never catch a break, or it's like you do one thing and then it's like three steps back on things that you have no control over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why do you feel that always is, and how do you feel that Sugar Gamers as a company can start to break that mold so that things is more fair, things is more balanced, and you could get ahead more, not just in getting awards. I'm talking about like from a systematic standpoint, everything is a bit more fair, so whoever is the most creative or whoever does certain things, these opportunities isn't stripped from them, just because of where they come from and all these other things. Like how do you see us getting to that point, especially when it comes to the black female in the gaming industry and just overall period, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, that's a dense question, but I'll try to make the answer short. Um, you know, I'll start with this. I mean, yes, there's sexism and racism that's inherent in the industry. And yes, it's gotten a little bit better, but we still have a lot of work to do. But what's more interesting, and if we do a deep dive, is how Black women have been socialized in this space. So number one, just from the beginning, we haven't been socialized to even see video games as a space for us. There is so minimal representation for successful individuals in the video game industry that are women of color and that have ownership and agency, without necessarily having to be this incessantly entertaining, right?
Got you.
So it's like being a talent, whereas being like an owner or an entrepreneur in the space, owning your own brand is a difficult feat. It's not just like, hey, I'm gonna get on a stream and we're gonna have fun and so on and so forth. Like, that's awesome, but I still think that we all, especially Black women, we're one of the most entrepreneurial demographics of people, and we need to be entrepreneurial as it pertains to how we are in the video game space. Yes, coming from this demographic, being a Black woman, yes, some things are harder, but some things are more extraordinary. Like when you're when you have to understand how to navigate the world being who you are, you start to recognize your uniqueness, your power, your magic, and that's where we focus on Sugar Gamers. We want to bring light to the solutions, not the problems. Yes, like
Fire.
we all we all know what the problems are. We've been talking about it for 10 years. I started Sugar Gamers in 2009, before Me Too, before Black Lives Matter, before all the movements that have happened, before Gamergate, before any of these things, with the understanding that there was a lack of us, and us really working hard to be in this space was going to be an extraordinary feat. So I think that Black women who stay the course and know it's going to be hard, but know it means something to not just the individual, but to the community overall, just to see different flavors of us represented in this space is so incredibly important. And I think that it will inevitably have a domino effect, because we are going to bring something very different and something very sort of magical to this space that you're not going to see everywhere. So our team is very confident that we bring something unique and different to the table. Even though we're going to have to start streaming, because it's 2020 now, and I can't just show up to a conference and be like, "Hi guys," like that's
and nobody
not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
So starting to stream. I just got my little
okay.
My capture card.
About time.
So you know what? Hush, leave me alone. So I got to kick it off. I was trying to get my other team members to do it, and they're just like, "Why don't you do it?" And I'm just like, so, like,
but that's important. It's important that that you do get yourself out there like that. But so here's a question. This is the major question. This is the one right here. Now, November 10th, Xbox Series X is dropping. And November 12th, PlayStation 5 is dropping. Are you getting both? Are you feeling one over the other? But since you're about to start streaming more so yourself now, with these new systems coming out, all eyes is on the latest games. So what you rocking with? You know what I'm saying? We need to know what the CEO of Sugar Gamers is rocking with. What up, Keish? Let's go.
That is unfair.
No, it ain't.
Ask me. Because one of the things I do is I work very hard to not just, experience this video game hardware for myself, but so my team can too. So, I am, biased and privileged and responsible. So like I am getting all the things because I want to make sure that I have them in the event that my team members don't. So if they like, I want to try Xbox, then like I have to be able to provide the Xbox. If I want to try PlayStation, I have to be able to provide. Like right now, I'm about to, I never thought I'd do this, but I'm gonna try being a PC gamer for a little bit. Right?
Oh,
So
let
when
me
I got
find out.
into right, like when I got into VR, VR is played on a PC. So it was really interesting and it wasn't as daunting. And then I'm going to be learning the Unreal Engine soon. So for me, like all of these things, when I think of, Microsoft, Sony, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, all these things, they are hardware. It's hardware that I need to learn, and it's hardware that I need to sort of examine in order to speak intelligently about as a founder of a company. Now, if it was just me by myself, I don't know. I don't know. Like I started off as a hardcore Nintendo fan. Like I've
Oh,
played every video game system since Game Boy. So Game Boy, Super Nintendo,
wow.
Sega CD, Dreamcast,
Dreamcast is
Virtual
classic.
Boy, Nintendo 64, GameCube. My favorite out of all of them was Dreamcast. Like Dreamcast was
Wow.
my absolute
Love
favorite.
Dreamcast. Love it.
And then for the longest time, I was a PlayStation fan, hardcore. And then I like went over to Xbox when Gears of War came out. I feel like now this might be the last sort of generation of consoles because now there's Stadia and then Amazon. What they doing? They doing
Luna.
a
Luna.
Luna,
Yeah.
and we're about to start streaming everything. So it's gonna be interesting how that all works because we have so many digital titles. Like a lot of times when I look at gamer rooms and they have all their hardware and stuff, and I'm like, we could just plug it into the internet now. Like we don't even need
Yeah.
anything. We need a controller and like an
And that's
internet,
it.
right? So it's interesting. What we need is strong internet. We don't need any of these other things in the coming years, which is, amazing. Like just working in emerging technologies and looking at the new hardware and software that's coming out for gameplay is extraordinary. So like, we'll have this debate over Xbox and
Yep.
PlayStation maybe, one more time before it's like which internet you own.
Well, and
Like
yo, that's
what's
what, yo,
your
my internet,
internet?
yo, my internet is better than yours. So, what your net
Right?
like? What your net
Right?
worth is like?
So what's your download speeds? What's your stream capacity?
we,
Like we
we
ain't
we
gonna
always
be
gonna find something to debate about. Like no matter
right.
what it is, we always gonna find something to go
Your
back and forth
internet
about.
laggy. You must live in digital redline areas. Did you know that there's a such thing as digital redlining? We'll talk about that in the next interview. But yes, continue.
See, yo, this is yo, I love it. Yo, it's just fun to catch up with you. You know what I'm saying? Because shoot, I think the last time we saw each other was at E3
E3
2019
yeah.
last year, right?
Yeah, that feels like
Yo,
10 years ago. That was
I
in the before times.
yeah, it feels like so long ago. So like that's crazy. So it's just great to catch up. So I just got one last question, and this
Okay.
question I like to ask everybody this. But what was a moment in your life where you felt like you was at your lowest and things couldn't get any worse, but you managed to find strength in that moment that allowed you to be successful today?
Oh man, I've had so many of those moments. uh,
Oh man.
oh man, living in your purpose is a really weird thing because you just go with it. You don't fight your purpose, and I've always like kind of felt like Sugar Gamers is very purposeful work for me. But like when I want to give up, and that has been frequent. I will not deny that. I'm just like this is some bullshit. This is hard. I'm always broke. I'm always busy. I'm overworked. Nobody understands what I do. People are like, what does Sugar Gamers even do? And I'm just like, oh man, and it's so discouraging sometimes. And then like I'll get a call or an email from somebody's mom and they'll be like, my kid saw you and I didn't even know nothing about video games. And then I see what you did with my kid. And I'm not even a teacher. I just exist. And people like want me to talk to their kids, right? I'm not a professor. I've created a class and everything, but that's not what my core function is. But like people will see me and I don't realize that what Sugar Gamers represents and the impact that we have and what we've done really helps a lot of people. And I'm just like, oh, I can't quit, because if I quit, I'm really letting individuals down that didn't know, that needed to know, that needed the help. Like when I did my first TED Talk, I was so nervous. I was like, I'm trash
Yeah,
at
that's
TED
crazy.
Talks. I'm
That
so trash.
still to this day,
Um,
I was like, wow, like you did a TED talk. That was crazy.
I did two of them. I don't know how, but the first one, I was so nervous. My heart was beating out of my chest. I couldn't remember none of my speech, and I was like, this was a disaster. And like I ran to the bathroom right after the speech, and this mom came up to me crying, bawling. And she was like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" I'm like, "The speech wasn't that good. Come on." And she was like, "My daughter, she's an introvert like you, and she loves video games, and I've been discouraging her playing them because I thought they
Mm,
were bad for her. And then seeing you talk about it, I just realized that that was wrong. And would you just talk to my daughter, because I've been discouraging her all this time from pursuing something that she really loves and that could really be good for her." And I was like, oh, okay. So I have these moments, and it's not just like with young people, but like even with people that are older than me. Like and individuals need stories. They need supporting evidence that what it is that they love and what it is that they dream of doing is possible. And
yeah,
sometimes all you need is like the idea of something to like keep going. And I realize that, we are that idea for some people. And if I quit, then imagine all the other people that I impact in a negative way that feel like, oh, well, if she can't do it, I can't do it. I want people to look at what Sugar Gamers is and what I do and be like, oh, if they doing that, I damn sure could do what I'm doing. So because that's how I've been able to function as well. So every single time I want to give up, somebody has some kind of conversation with me that makes me recognize that this is more important than me just having fun at video games. It's
mm,
really changing how my community. I'm a Black girl from the South Side of Chicago. How people who have that kind of story can really make impact and make progress in this space.
yo, and that's why you got the award. Boom, you know what I'm saying? That right there. That's why you got the award, yo. Look, yo, Keish, I'm telling you right now, man. From the first day meeting you to knowing you now, one love and God bless. I'm telling you, you still got so much more work to do, and you still got more groundwork to lay down. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need help with, holla. You already know what it is. I just want to say one love and God bless to you and your team again. What you're doing is remarkable, and like the mom said that was crying when she saw you, now it's a responsibility of yours. So don't stop, don't give up. Everybody's paying attention, and the support system is definitely there. You know what I'm saying? So go be great. Just go be who you are. All right. I'm telling you, I mean that. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to say to the fans and anything you want to leave them with? Let them know
The
where they can find
idea.
you at, all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, please, please, please follow us on the internets. We're at Sugar Gamer. We've like, though I've been realizing there's some people like across the world that are now appropriating Sugar Gamer. So, don't go there.
Oh
SugarGamers.com,
wow.
right? Sugar
I know
Gamers
that.
on
Okay.
on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Twitch. We'll start twitching soon. But yeah, follow us, join us, join our approach to this, because like again, it's not about, though we want to build safe spaces, we want to, make impact in the competitive marketplace with
Mm,
everyone else. So like we're here to make some, we're here
yeah.
to be here,
Yeah, yeah.
so
I like that.
so yeah, let us know what let us know what your thoughts are, and what sorts of things you might want to see from us next.
I do. So you already know what it is, man. It's the one and only hip hop gamer, Logitech G, on your hot 9-7 every day. That's my word. One love. God bless, and we are out of here.